Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to do a video on some items that I got from Outright Apparel, specifically their anti-tarnish strips. If that's something you're interested in, then definitely keep watching. So I know a lot of us buy costume jewelry just because it's easy to find. We can just pop down to Wonderful World and get a piece of costume jewelry that we like, and most times it's very affordable and we get to change up our looks very easily. So that's why a lot of us purchase costume jewelry over real jewelry. And sometimes that's awesome, but the downside of costume jewelry can be that it tarnishes very easily. And a lot of us, instead of trying to figure out ways to fix the tarnishing or to prevent the tarnishing, we end up throwing away a lot of our jewelry, and that can be very wasteful. So Outright Apparel came out with some anti-tarnish strips, and I wanted to just speak a little bit about that as an option to try to save some of your costume jewelry. So let's speak a little bit about what costume jewelry actually is. Costume jewelry is usually made from a metal alloy of copper or zinc, for example, brass, and it's coated in a fine layer of gold or silver to give the appearance of gold or silver jewelry. Tarnishing is usually a layer of corrosion that develops on the surface of the jewelry over time after exposure to certain chemicals that are present. Sometimes it can have a greenish blue appearance, and that's usually when the base metal contains copper. So what exactly causes the tarnishing? It's the exposure of the jewelry to some sort of chemical, and usually it's either a chemical that's present in the air or a chemical that's present on the skin of the wearer of the jewelry. When it comes to the environment, certain things can influence the development of tarnishing on your jewelry. So for example, if it is you live in a more humid climate, you may tend to have a faster rate of development of tarnishing, as well as if it is your air quality is not as great. So for example, if you live in a city where there is more pollution, you can tend to have a quicker rate of tarnishing of your costume jewelry. And then on the skin, most of us wear perfumes or lotions, and we have hair creams, etc., that do have chemicals that can interact with the jewelry themselves and result in tarnishing. This corrosion can give a very ugly and dull appearance to the jewelry, and therefore it doesn't look as nice as it looked when we first bought it. How do you go about avoiding tarnishing of your jewelry? Now, there are some basic steps that you can do. So for example, ensure that you store your jewelry appropriately. So usually try not to store it just out in the open. If it is you have a case for your jewelry, or you can even store your jewelry in Ziploc bags, just ensure that you have it not exposed to the chemicals that are present in the air around you. Secondly, you can clean the jewelry after each use. Just wipe it off to ensure that any of the lotions and perfumes, etc., that are present on your skin and sweat that is present on your skin doesn't get onto the jewelry and remain there. And then thirdly, you can use something like anti-tarnish strips. So for example, like the ones that Outright Apparel actually came out with. So how do anti-tarnish strips actually work? Well, what they do is they tend to absorb any of the harmful chemicals that can react with the jewelry and result in tarnishing. It's that simple. Like literally, they just absorb the chemicals. And it's very easy to go about ensuring that your jewelry doesn't tarnish by using anti-tarnish strips, because you simply just have to place it in the same container that your jewelry is present in. So if it is you do store your jewelry in Ziploc baggies, you just place a single anti-tarnish strip in that particular bag, seal it completely, and that would help prevent any of the tarnishing of that particular jewelry. If it is you store your jewelry, like me, in acrylic cases, you just have to put a strip in each of the sections of the case, and that should help prevent any of the tarnishing of the jewelry that's present there. So the anti-tarnish strips sold by Outright Apparel are $6 TT for one, and they are sold in 1 inch by 1 inch strips. They have a life capacity of 12 months, and the best part is they have an indicator that changes to brown when your strip is ready to be changed. So for example, you have a strip in your container with your jewelry and you're not sure when you're supposed to change the strip. Well, once the strip turns to brown, you know you have to replace that strip with a new strip. It's as simple and easy as that. This is the way the anti-tarnish strip comes. It's a little square. As I said before, it's 1 inch by 1 inch, and you simply place it into the container that you have your jewelry stored. This is one of the ways I store my jewelry. I bought it on Amazon, and it's literally just a circular jewelry holder, and it separates into different sections and it contains my jewelry in it. So what I do is I will just place one of the strips in one of the sections that contains jewelry, and seal it off from any excessive air entering. And that's it. It's literally just placing the strip in the section, and it's that simple. You just leave it until the strip changes color to brown, and then you know you have to replace the strip itself. So if it is you are on the market for an anti-tarnish solution, let's say you love costume jewelry and you have lots of it, but you have the problem of tarnishing, consider looking into the Outright Apparel anti-tarnish strips. And even if it is you are a jewelry maker and you have to store a lot of jewelry before it sells, consider looking into the anti-tarnish strips, because they can be a great idea to help keep your jewelry looking as fresh and as new as you first had it. So guys, I hope you enjoyed my little mini video. Don't forget to check out Outright Apparel for their anti-tarnish strips, and until next time guys, bye.